Sufi story of Rumi, the skeleton and Jesus. Jesus traveled from place to place frequently, and he was frequently accompanied by diverse people for portions of his journey. A young man began to follow him while he was leaving a tiny village on one occasion. The young man noticed the bones of an unknown species in a ditch not long after they set off. His interest piqued, and he began poking the bones with his stick, believing he had unearthed an abandoned human skeleton. He asked Jesus, "Are you not the greatest prophet on the face of the earth? Then you must know the key to resurrecting the dead. Please, great prophet, teach me how to give life to these useless bones so that I too can declare that I have achieved a worthwhile deed." The man said. Jesus became irritated and continued to ignore the young fool, but the man refused to give up and repeated his request over and over. Jesus' patience was wearing thin, and he finally broke, saying, "Be quiet, this is not a fool's task. This endeavor necessitates a soul as pure as raindrops and a self as sentient as angels. Before you can even be considered for such a task, you must live many holy lives. Let's pretend you got a good staff for the sake of argument, but where is Moses now to perform the miracle?" Jesus made every effort to persuade the simpleton of the significance of the situation. "All right, because you don't think I am smart enough to figure out the secret prayer, you do it. You are the one who breathes life into these bones." He kept repeating himself. Jesus was perplexed as to why this evidently egotistical man was so intent on resurrecting these dead, discarded bones. The piteous always force themselves into a rueful state, a voice in his thoughts said as he went to God, pleading him to reveal the cause for this trial. "They sow thorns instead of seeds. Those who cultivate thorns, on the other hand, have no place in the holy garden. Every rose will become a thorn in their hands, because their spirit is dark and wicked. If they fall in love, their sweetheart will transform into a venomous snake, unlike the true alchemist, who transforms everything into beautiful gold. Their specialty is in manufacturing poison." Jesus, intrigued by the young man's request, decided to fill it in the hopes of learning the meaning of his plight as well as being rid of the fellow's aggravating company. As a result, he murmured the prayer for the dead's resurrection and blew it into the shattered bones. The bones, unbeknownst to Jesus and the child half-wit, were those of a fearsome black lion, not a man. The young man's head was snapped off, his arms and legs were broken, and his body was torn in no time by the lion, who had been revived from the grave. Standing a few feet away, Jesus was taken aback by the attack. He approached the lion with caution, asking, "Why did you tear this unfortunate guy apart?" "He simply forced me to return your life to you. I obediently devastated his body because he had enraged you." "O great prophet," cried the lion, "why don't you eat his flesh?" Jesus quailed. "It's not my destiny today to be fed by his body," exclaimed the appreciative lion, who then turned around and walked away.